Hello, no Russian bot here. And I just have to tell you, I'm completely blown away and obsessed with reading and watching all of the testimonials in this Walk Away campaign. I'm so proud of each and every person out there that is brave enough to share their stories. And Trumpy Bear and I want to give you a round of applause. Yay! So I'm going to put Trumpy Bear away while I continue. Let me introduce myself. My name is Toby, and I'm an American. Unfortunately, many people, especially in politics, they want to put you all in categories and check off all the boxes. So some people might view me as a white, although pretty tan, college-educated, married woman who's Jewish, and a loving mom of a lesbian daughter and a son who's in long-term recovery from a heroin addiction. But I'm also a lifelong Republican. And once you put that R next to your titles or identity, then the left views you completely differently. For now, I've become a racist, anti-Semitic, homophobic, misogynistic, stupid, greedy Nazi. I mean, it's crazy. My walk away is from establishment politicians, for I have been a lifelong Republican, and I embrace and welcome each and every one of you into this group. So, I was one of the lucky ones during the contentious election season, for I'm retired and was in fear of zero backlash for speaking out on Facebook, whether through my weekly video rants and always respectfully when I would come across friends or, well, so-called friends on the left. Well, actually, they all unfriended me friends, and so I guess we're not friends anymore friends, would post fake news, fake narratives, and I would always be able to engage and debate using facts, and they didn't really appreciate that. So what I noticed during that time is that I had my own private walkaway campaign via private messages. I had my own fan base. And that's why this campaign is so important, because people would be private messaging me and cheering me on. You've got to keep going, keep going. And now, look at it, it's going viral, and more of you are coming out. And how sad that so many felt scared. And that's so un-American. And the more we speak out, the stronger our voices are going to be collectively. I want to share my lowest point during the contentious election season, and that happened right after, the day after the election. I went down into the kitchen and my daughter saw me and said, "Don't tell me you're just waking up." And I said, "Can you believe it? I slept till 9:45. I haven't done that since college." And the funniest part was the song, "This Land Is Your Land, This Land Is My Land," was playing in my head. So my daughter starts cracking up. So I thought, you know what? Let me post that. Something funny, non-political, non-contentious. And as soon as I did, one of my long-term liberal social justice warrior friends commented, "You should be ashamed of yourself. Your addict son and gay daughter should be ashamed of you. What kind of mother are you?" I was like, she doesn't get it. So I nicely responded back that my son and daughter do not consider themselves victims. I, as their mom, did not raise them to be victims. And they're both Trump supporters as well. Well, it went really downhill from there, but that's another story for another time. The point is that they like to consider people victims. And my daughter has suffered zero negative repercussions for her sexual preference. She has never been discriminated against, ever. She has never been victimized. She's quite successful in her career that she has decided to pursue. And my son, this is one of the very important lessons I learned when I discovered he was a heroin addict, and I was the queen of enabling. And once I cut him off and said, I'm done. I can't love, care, and protect you anymore. I'm just loving you to death. You are done. I'm giving you a choice of long-term treatment or homelessness. Knock yourself out. It was only then that he chose treatment and began the path of sobriety. So we make the analogy of big government, me, the queen of enabling, and my son being the entitlement culture, taken. It wasn't until we cut him off that he gained his self-respect back. And one of the other analogies was, for all of you, I understand how brave you are coming out, because one of the hardest parts, once I discovered my son's addiction, was coming public. My first instinct was to keep it a secret, and I was so afraid of being stigmatized. And the biggest difference is, coming out as a mom of a son who suffers from the disease of addiction, I was embraced. I never experienced zero negative feedback, no negative comments. People couldn't have been more supportive. But once I came out, or have always been, a Trump supporter, the backlash, it's incredible. Can you imagine how you are so negatively judged for your political opinion? And here I was fearful for a completely different reason. And I've been accepted and embraced and shown love and support. That's the insanity going on. So basically, that's all I need to say. This is a great thing. Hearing our voices, I'm proud of each and every one of you. I'm grateful to Brandon. Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. And let's keep it up and have more and more come join us, because one of the most important things is how everybody is so welcoming on this page and accepting of all Americans. That's the bottom line, folks. We are on the same team. We are all Americans. Thanks so much for listening.